Hello everyone and welcome to my new series, a series I like to call
Wow, it's actually a tutorial.
Okay, so this past week I made a tutorial on organizing plugins, kind of. It was a really dumb tutorial and I had fun making it. But there is something to be considered and said when you are working inside a DAW and organizing your stuff so it's easier for your workflow. And I'm going to talk about that a bit today. So the first thing I want to look at is my instruments over here. Now I've kind of unorganized them a bit so I can organize them again. So in Studio One, what happens is you will have some pre-made folders, and when you download new plugins, they will just appear not in a folder. And there's actually different ways to view your stuff. See, I can organize them flat, so there's no folders. Folder view, which I have disorganized, and then there's vendor, which I'm not going to touch. So, and then there's type. Vendor's cool because if you're just looking for a native instruments plugin, boom, what do you know? All my native instruments stuff is there. But with folders, this is where you can get extra creative. Actually, can you rename vendor folders? No, you can't. With the folder category, you can get extra creative with your folders. So I could create a new folder, call it KFC, and if I feel like a plugin is like Kentucky Fried Chicken, like FM8, boom, there we go. It's in KFC now. So how you create and edit folders is by simply right-clicking on them, and now is going to be a montage of me organizing all my plugins here. Okay, and there we go. I organized it a bit. So I have reasons why I've organized things the way I did. So I have it very simply put into, well, there's my plug stuff, which I don't really care about. And then we have my samplers and sample-based instruments. These are instruments that require samples to make sounds, like labs. And another one that would be in this category would be contact, but because I use contact so much and I'm so annoyed with clicking a folder an extra time, I'm just going to leave it right there where I can see it. And if there's a plugin or an instrument that you don't want to see ever again, you'll notice at this top right corner there's a little Manage Plugins button. And as you can see, there's these stars and there's dots. So you can add instruments to your favorites. So say I love contact so much, I'm going to add a star and boom, it's in favorites. But let's say I hate Serum because Serum's the worst plugin ever. I'm going to click this dot and boom. When you exit Manage Plugins, Serum is disappeared. But you know what? I actually like Serum, so let's do that. All right, now let's look at my effects. So this is, I believe, I don't think I've changed anything since, except for this, I was goofing around. This is how I've organized everything after the joke video that I made. And what inspired me to make that video was this. Where I kind of joke named some of the folders. The reason why I don't have it like that anymore is because as I was trying to work with my joke named folders, I found I made it incredibly hard for myself to read where I was going because I named everything so funny. And it's hilarious, but it took me so much longer to read through. So now I mixed everything back. So I have all my mixing plugins right here. Got my mixing, panning, blah blah blah, and EQs could go into mixing, but I will just have them there in the EQ folder. And see, I have my EQ starred. But yeah, I don't need to talk about this. Okay, so the next thing that's important to talk about is organizing your samples. Now, samples are something that you will collect over time. most likely. Maybe you might not ever download any samples because you're like, I don't need samples. But most likely, you will acquire so many samples that it will be a headache to sift through. So I have everything organized in a way that it's kind of easier for me to sift through. It's not perfect, yes, but it helps me instead of just having all the individual files. So I have all my cymatics packs. I have all, I've just something else that I've started to do that I've heard people talk about for a long time is if there are samples that you go to every time, like there's this one Hyperbits sample that's this reverse sound that I just love so much. It's just perfect. Yeah, I just love that. It just, I've used it so many times. But I now have it in all my faves folders. So I have everything organized in such a way that it's easier for me to find. Echo Soundworks, everything's in there. I have a Foley library. I have memes,
the recommended amount of dedicated RAM.
I need those samples. But that aside, organize everything in such a way that it'll be easy for you to find what you're looking for the fastest. Okay, now that we've talked about organizing your folders, there's a way that you actually kind of don't need to organize your folders, and that's by using the search feature. So, say I want to use sausage fattener on this track. I will just write SA, and then boom, in this search bar, I already have sausage fattener. Look at him. Look at that beefy boy. So, yeah, it's actually really quite fast just using the search feature. And I actually didn't start using the search feature until way more recently, realizing how much easier it's to be like, okay, I want my Valhalla VAL. There we go. Valhalla room. Boom. Say I'm looking in my samples and I want a meme sound. Let's search 420, see what we get. There we go. I got some Atari sounds. I got the Intervention 420, which is what I want. So there we go. Drag that sample in. Boom, you have it. So that's the great thing about the search features. You can find whatever you want practically instantly. The only thing is you'll have to know how it's spelt or how you spelled it. And that aside, now you should be smarter and know how to organize your folders much better. So thank you for watching this insanely boring tutorial. Until next time, I will start a funnier video. Anyways, ta-ta for now.